Carapace Kelly against the Uprising Swarm deck from Crake. Interesting. So Kelly traditionally punishes players who try to go too wide. But Crake goes wide to such an extreme with such small bodies that he might overswarm in a long round anyway. And the Kelly might not matter. There's Heatwave and Wrath that can take care of boats, which is probably a problem. Bray probably has to win round 1 here. But beating this Kelly deck while it's on blue coin can be a tough order. Is there any tall removal in this list? There is a Heatwave, but no access to it, as Prake is playing Royal Decree instead of a Neuromancy. Jones runs out the Siri. Break with no answer to this is basically playing from blue coin now. Just with no TA. It's theoretically like Anses and all the leader can do it, but ugh.
If the kingdom arms ahead, I'll give him yours.
I love to see if he kills the second Royal Guard. The second Royal Guard lives, then Anses works. Scuffed not using leader charge to try to play around it. Yeah, so melee Anses, Royal Guards. Does take care of the Siri before it goes off. Doesn't need to use any leader charges, right? Yeah. That works. Really good line there from Prake. Now, Scups Jones back to playing on blue coin. What is Prake gonna do? Shouldn't have too many problems winning the round. He probably won't get card advantage through the Siri. But he should be able to win the round. These cards here for Scuffed Jones, not worth a ton of points. Leader charging that out of Bowser's Thunder range. Out of Tesha Mutton Sword range, but just eats the Imlaret's Wrath. Still a 4-point gap here for Scuffed Jones. Break committing the Jermaine. I remembered what his name was, I promise. Getting out those cows, and they immediately get pinged down by Siri, as Scuff Jones uses a leader charge to keep it alive, knowing the Siri is his only hope at not losing his card. Don't believe there's anything. Yeah. Ooh, Prake giving up around 1. Willing to go to the round 3 against Kelly. With both series gone, Scuff Jones not threatening any card advantage trickery. He does have the Heat Wave, so as long as he locates the Heat Wave. Do you have an answer to the Defender in here, though? No? Maybe he's just thinking he'll be able to outswarm the Kelly. Not insane. We will see. Does only have 1 boat and no Germain though. And the boat will likely be eating the Heat Wave. Doesn't actually get to go all that wide. Scuff Jones deciding to push a little bit. Opening on the Yigern. Might be seeing Yigern into Beast here. It's a way to throw a lot of tempo in play real quick. Prake's deck a little slow to scale.
gather over to Merry.
Spores in his deck? There's a spores in... There's spores in the NR deck? There's spores in the Kelly's deck, right? I can't look right now. There's spores here. Not sure how much that one... I guess it can answer the Uprising, sort of. So first AA comes out and gets 2 points of damage. Don't think we're going to be seeing the Heat Wave. Probably just going to see Beast. Might be like Beast into... Ooh, what do we got in the melee row? So not playing the A-Rush this round? Is this deck basically Sabbath? Not really. The way the Sabbath deck works is the Sabbath stuck and the game was over immediately. You would jam the Sabbath round 1, ask your opponent if they had an answer, and if they didn't, the game was over. And this deck, you gotta be a little more careful with how you play the Kaltalas, because you only get one. It's only in one round. And it is possible to play through, as it destroys the lowest unit instead of the tallest unit. The way this deck works is more trying to get card advantage through the series, and just Kaltalos is one of the good cards that you can play in a sort of deck that plays a lot of boosts to keep the series alive. I'd say it's more of a Siri deck than a Kaltalos deck, though Kaltalos is the flashy card that tends to win the game by itself. Or the flashy card that is in play at the end of the game. Draga Warrior. Putting tokens on Prake's board. I don't know why he ate the Noon Wraith. I'm trying to figure that out myself.
Oh, who goes there?
I've really got nothing. Wanted to have a single body for Rush. Forgot about the drone. Wanted a bigger body on the Draga Warrior, so the beast grew larger. I mean, either way, I would say this is looking all right for Jones. Still got Azrael, still got Kelly, still got Cave Troll. He's got removal for one of the Scythemen, if that even matters. There's AA for Boat. Boat gets Heat Waved.
Hey, where do you think you're going?
So we're going into a 5-card round 3. Swarmenar versus Kelly. Bone Talisman. Smoke them out. Kicking the Bone Talisman. Guess Voimir is a card. Is they ever not Boat? No. So we're missing the Azrael over here. Huh. Is there ever a reason to not lead a Boat? If you play Smoke Them Out first, Scuffed gets to play Kelly immediately. Oh, I guess there's still this heat wave you have to be concerned with as Jones. So you play the Cape Troll first. And knowing that that threat is there, now you have a soldier. If you know heat wave is gonna happen, consider AA for like Karak Cutthroat or Temple Guard. But like that requires some confidence, yeah. So boat comes down, boat certainly getting heat waved, right? Goes on the ranged row too. Yeah. Boat eats the wave. Back to break. Dahlia a Scytheman, and now's the Kelly turn. Kelly gets to burn 3 threes. And the Voimirs target the Scytheman. Oh, goes for the sword instead of the Kelly. He's going for the Azrael instead. Now the Kelly burns 2 threes and is worth 15. Hey, Kanawa. Oh, there's the Kelly. Okay. Not sure what the rush was on doing this last turn.
Should've listened to me, old lady.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Tie? Again? But the first game made my brain hurt. That was a win with Kelly before sword, right? I'm not sure what the sword was playing around there. The Kelly still burns a boosted unit, so it's not like the other things are bigger. Maybe Kelly doesn't burn again? Or there not enough units? You can always play the sword for damage, too. If there's too many units.
Just when you thought things were about to get
Anyway. Game 1 again. Break versus Scuffed Jones. Kelly on blue once again against this Uprising Swarm deck. I don't know how you can Resident Sleeper this match. There's so much going on. This time Prake has access to the Heat Wave as well. Should make things a little easier, giving him that catch-all answer. No Anses this time. Ooh. He doesn't need to kick the Royal Guards. So it doesn't have the option for Decree Anses. Take something out that's boosted with the Royal Guard combo. Hey, Speedbird, how's it going? Jones with both series once again. Using this time to instead lead on the Yigern. Have a few more points. Yeah, it's a cool looking board. Break with the Mauler.
questions later.
Mauler just get natural selection. What is... if he wants to win the round, it's got to be Germain, right? Yeah, okay. So we are seeing Germain, and then we've got Temple Guards to make boosted units to set up Scythemen off of a Dahlia? Imagine we're more willing to play the Temple Guards than the Voimir.
Yield and save me some time.
Right. Brutal, brutal Ciri. Takes out some cows. Making things difficult for Prake once again. There's the Temple Guard. Gets some boosted units. Scythemen currently playing for 6. Holding on to this decree. Not really wanting to play his AA into a potential squirrel from Jones. Jones with enough points that he's not too worried about playing the Ciri dash this round, it seems. Instead holding on to it for later. This is a Foglet with no way to consume it. And Prake taking the pass on 7. Scuffed Jones maintaining the Ciri dash to fight for the card in round 2. Jones picking up his Nero and a Hound again. Prake just drawn some bronzes and a Bone Talisman. Which is technically a bronze. Pact back. Talisman deck. No confidence in Talisman being good against the Kelly deck. Scytheman going back to... Picks up a Frigate that can be copied with the Dahlia. Cave Troll comes out, gets protected. Could be the Heatwave target. Not very excited about it, but pretty sure if you're not Heatwaving the Cave Troll, you're not Heatwaving anything this round. That said, no rush, with no other removal in hand. It's gonna get a Dahlia onto the Frigate to get that established. Probably gonna see Teshram with the sword to take this out. Yeah, time zones are rough. I get it. I get it. Yeah, doesn't even really need to think about it. Takes the sword, kills the shielded boat, and we are back over to Prake. This other boat may be a little more likely to live, though there is still Imlerith's Wrath, and this Neuromancy probably represents removal as well. The Nero can be a Heatwave. This is really just the biggest priority removal target in Prake's deck. Does seem to be a big problem for it when it is not able to get those boats established. Everything else sort of relying on the swarm that they generate. Without boats, you can't get volunteers. Without volunteers, you don't really get good Voimirs. Without good Voimirs, you don't get great Scythemen. Bone Talisman fits in there somewhere too. Now we're gonna be seeing the Talus into AA. Yeah. This does get the boat. And does this get Scuffed Jones's and Nero for Heatwave? It looks like it. Not even really thinking about it. So all the boats are gone. All the biggest threats have now been answered.
If the kingdom aren't ahead, I'll give him yours.
Still time to play the Ciri too. Gotta imagine that's what we're seeing here. Jones get the Ciri down sooner or later. Basically, as soon as he has a window to, you get it down. But every turn, he's had an urgent thing to answer. It's been boat into boat into boat. This was the first turn where Prake played something that didn't demand an answer. You've still got cards you want to play. You're happy to play the Beast. You're happy to play Squirrel. Guess he's jamming Kelly this round too. Hey, Redze. Doing pretty good. But yeah, with maybe just like hold to Azrael. Assuming the Heat Wave gets forced onto the Cave Troll. There's nothing that punishes like Azrael A-Rush even. You can greed pretty hard.
Hey, where do you think you're going?
Plays the Beast. Still not taking the Squirrel on the AA. I'm sure he's gonna do that before passing, so gonna be seeing at least one more card. Suspect we'll hold the Azrael. This Kara Cutthroat just not able to do anything. The Veiled Defender. There's the Squirrel, knocking out the Amphibious Assault. Beast continues to grow, Kelly continues to not burn, and Siridash draws the card. Don't think we'll play the Noon Wraith. Not a whole lot to be gained. Though maybe if Prake plays like a Trist TK into something that puts multiple units in play. We're not losing Kelly value. Pretty one-sided. Yeah, this boats deck looks hard to win with when the boats don't live.
How can I help?
Yeah, TK in to smoke them out does mean that if we play the Noon Wraith, the Kelly still burns. That said, we're getting 5 passively. Yeah. Good luck. Uh-oh. Hopefully I'm back in a second. Oh no. Oh no, Comcast. Why are you doing this to me? We should be back. We'll be back in a second. No, we're What are you doing, OBS? OBS, please! Reconnection successful. Okay, are we back? I think we're back. Needs to be like a force reconnect button on OBS when you know your internet's back. Rather than have it wait the 15 seconds. That's the second time tonight that's happened. I hope that stops happening. But anyway, it doesn't seem to have happened in a very critical moment, as this game is all but over. Still Heatwave in Prake's hand, but what do we got here? How many points total is this? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15? So Azrael plus leader charge, discarding all the other cards, wins for Scuffed Jones. So that's cool.
My spirit's willing and how, but these damn boots are killing me. The heat, I cannot bear.
Now we're going to be seeing Scuffed Jones take this 2-game long game 1. Oh, is there no Yigern in here? Oh, I thought there was a Yigern. So I couldn't quite discard his cards. Oh, the Yigern got squirreled. That makes sense. Sure. Anyway, while we were waiting for invites to get sent out for Game 2, the Scoia'taels were banned, so Prake still got a win with both this Uprising and this very creative take on Assimilate, where Scuffed Jones just has his Battle Trance deck remaining. Start raid. Yeah, we can do that while we're waiting for the invite to get sent out. I will make the raid disappear if the game starts, though. This is a crushing victory. What happened? In round 2, he used his full leader to not lose the game. Anyway, we've got this Uprising Swarm deck against Battle Trance now. Still rip? No, what? We've been back for like 5 minutes. Didn't auto refresh like it normally does. That's annoying. Okay, Prake running out the Adalia on, I guess, boat.
My great-granddaughter will do great things.
Now, in this matchup, the boats are much safer. Yeah, just a Giga Scorpion and a Heat Wave. So 2 answers for 3 boats. Hey, Amatra. And looks like Scuffed Jones, no desire to fight over the round 1 boat. Which I guess will be a problem later, as now he will have 2 removals for 2 boats. Ooh. Is that reinforcements on the Karak frigate? Getting another copy. Don't think Jones is all that worried about it. Seems like he's not gonna fight too hard. Yeah, just grimaced. Maybe we'll see Priest next turn as another filler card. Pretty sure. Something to put a bronze in the graveyard for Freya. Buffs the other boat out of decoction range. And turns on that first boat finally. Yeah, we see Priest come down on the crows. Likely just to get down to 7 before passing. Doesn't really look like a hand you want to push with. Maybe we'll see like Draco Turtle come down just to get it in the graveyard for Sig's Raid as well, but it's gonna be hard to fight double boat from the Swarm deck. He's thinking about it. Yeah, just takes the pass on 7. I like this. Picking up his Natalis, so now he has AA access. Not sure if we're gonna see a push from this NR deck, or if it's just happy to take a long round against Battle Trance. Seems very sketchy either way, honestly. I think Jeff is right, getting kicked with no good targets. Picking up a discard for the Barona. Great play and a bronze. Might just try to get value on the first AA here as well. Oh, there's a squirrel. Might depend on the tempo situation. Ooh. Okay. So one of the two remaining boats committed into the round 2. Might be seeing a push here. Curious if Jones is going to heatwave this now. Now he knows the last boat is almost certainly going to be off of AA, and the Gigascorp that he's playing will not be able to answer the AA boat. Let's just play Defender. Gets ahead on 8 cards, sets himself up to establish the Priest. And Prake is clicking the boat. We're going in. Points, points, points. And the Talus into the AA. No squirrel access for Jones means this won't be getting punished at all. And we do get the second boat. Big pushes. Surely this eats the heat wave, right? Yeah. Back over on Prake's side of the board. Germain into Triss is a possibility. They get value in all the Scythemen. Just going for the Triss now? Whoa. I guess with all the alchemy cards in Jones's deck, he doesn't want to be in a spot later where the Triss is bad, but man, Triss is a big one. Does probably mean he's not all-inning for the 2-0 here. Just trying to force out some of Jones's quality.
There's a time to reap, a time to sow.
So we're gonna hold Germain, Leader, Anses, Boimir. We're gonna play this other Scytheman. The Scytheman will still be good in round 3, right? He priest the Crow and not the Defender. He priested the... Oh, over here. The turn before. I don't know. I don't think splitting this to 8 put it in like Anses range. Yeah, it's not a point either way that matters. But the armor could be relevant. Second priest for Jones. Now does Prake just get out? Still some big stuff in Jones's hand here. The Getty, a pretty solid tempo Barona. Does get out. Now Jones can just take with Barona, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
We shall do it my way.
He's got 2 cards to discard to. The symmetry of drawing the squirrel and drawing the AA was very humorous to me. So there's Heatwave for the Getty. Onseis can kill one of the Preachers. Second AA. Oh, we get Defender to block the Heatwave. That's pretty good. Yeah, I guess that's just game. I guess one alchemy. This is not the end of the world. Only one alchemy for 3 Preachers. Oh, 2 alchemies. With the leader gone, there's no like double dip value for this Jermaine Voimir combo. So these Preachers are playing for 8s effectively. The Getty trades up 4 with the Heatwave. I think Anar might squeeze this. Heatwave on even cards. 8, 8. I mean, this is a lot. Voimir is only 9. This is 6. No. An AA is only 11. Yeah, never mind. This killer gets this by 1,000,000.
Man is an arrogant creature.
Army and Reza's Crow Messenger. Exclamation point Stream Raiders is probably what you're looking for. Yeah. So Ermion, Freya, Crows, click the totem, click the leader. One word. Not 2. You good. This is a very large swingy turn. Caw. Yeah, about 1,000,000. About 1,000,000. Solid 14-point win. And our Swarm deck, just looking a little lukewarm in the series. Definitely not the matchups that it was looking to get. Not sure how often that deck's not willing to take a long round 3, but between Kelly and really greedy scaling of battle trance towards anything, just plays cards that are worth points. Whereas you look at the Gourd deck, it's got like a Gourd that you're building up to. You've got some plays that scale over the round, like Sage, knowing when to pull the trigger on that. The Monroe Zoltan package. The Plague Maiden deck is playing Plague Maiden Glusty. But anyway, here we are. So we got Deadeye Ambush on Blue Coin in Game 1 against Mad Cow's Patricidal Fury Warriors. Mad Cow kicking a boat to keep his raiding fleet live, picking up a Morkbard for his troubles. Kleptotron keeping volunteers in his deck so he can pull them out with the Justice. Does he have Crystal Skull with Patricidal Fury? I'm not totally sure what Crystal Skull would be for right now. Possibly respecting like Syndicate or Nilfgaard, having something that can deal with poisons on blue coin. Not really sure. Maybe in the mirror it like delays raiding fleet. Yeah, Dragoon moving that first boat off of the melee row, disabling that. Now we see him getting the second boat. Raiding fleet on the Dragoon. Leaving him with the option to Gutting Slash the Miner if he tries to hold on to that longer. Could mean your boat can't get it with Geralt. That's a possibility, yeah. Putting it to 8 instead of 9 would be a big deal. There's the boat getting answered. It's Mycroft. And the Greatsword coming down. The Rebuke gone, seems this is going to be living. Leptatron just taking the Justice. Using his Miner. And looks to be setting himself up to take the pass. Mad Cow taking the Eagle. Uh-oh. Hopefully he's in chat and you can work that out. The way you fix it is if you pass on 10 cards round 1, and you can draw the game. Leptatron's continuing to play. Down to 5 cards now. Against double Greatsword. Mad Cow currently ahead. What do you do now? Can you draw the game? If you're able to draw the game, it'll just send out invites again. It's the ideal way to resolve it. But if you're unable to draw the game for whatever reason, I just have to give Broglass the win. I have no way of avoiding games. Aside from the players drawing them. Or I'd have to give a Scuff the win. Yeah, just let me know if there were any issues. Okay, we are in round 2. Looks like Mad Cow managed to win round 1 on even. Leptatron with the full elf package, just chilling in his hand here. Missing the Elias for now, but yeah, gonna be hard to get out without making some pretty unfavorable trades. Turn. Keeps ahead. It's gonna be Oak, or exactly how much are we gonna try to hold on to this Feign Death? We are running the Oak out. Okay, okay. This could be one of the problems with scenarios, is they're not very high tempo. They represent a lot of points over the course of a couple of turns. You just see Morkvarg traded off. Could be Heatwave. If you Heatwave, he handles for 14. Do you play the Verno, bricking the Feign Death, but pulling the Aileron? So you've still got Isengrim, Elias as procs for the Feign Death. Why just trade off the Champion's Charge here? Nah, decides to hold on to the tall removal. What's the tall removal gonna hit though? Isn't this basically just an Alzur's Thunder? Maybe it gets 7? Yeah, there's the Feign Death. Surely just Stunning Blow to take out the engine. This is like actually good for Kleptotron here. I think the bleed might not have gone far enough. If he goes Herald, the Waylay can kill the Herald with the Archer. Could charge to play unitless. That would be cute. Try to deny the Waylay that way. No. So this could get rebuked. This could just be the Bowman this turn to get the Waylay. Yeah, it looks like we're just seeing the Waylay. Get it while you have it. 5 units, 1 leader charge. Here's the Herald. This is the Greatsword. Taking the leader. Get the Greatsword out of rebuke range. The Herald eats the rebuke. The Greatsword eats the... I guess the Arnolf eats the Heatwave. Champion's Charge. Not even an Alzur's Thunder. But, good Heimdall pings. I guess, yeah. Just won't matter. This is plenty of points for Mad Cow. Plenty of points for Mad Cow. Wins by 3. Yeah, the Heimdall pings killed multiple Dwarves, right? Or multiple Elves. Denying a bit of Isengrim value. Close game overall, though. I didn't think that was going to be close at all after Skellige went uneven round 1. I suspect trading off the Champion's Charge also makes it not close, but regardless. We'll do the raid when there's time. I don't really know how much time there is between games in the match. Normally this gets started pretty quickly. Yeah. We need like a solid minute or 2. Nah, we lay at 5 is fine. It's fine. It could cost 4, but it's not unreasonable that it's 5.
The only good human is a dead human. Ten Ikea. Ted Dayred is nigh.
Sage getting the bleed. At least he's no play. Yeah, but is there any... I guess it has Death Blow, but... It makes sense to me that it's 5. It's like a 3-deal 3. Like, 5 Provision doesn't have easy 4-deal 3s, right? It's got, like, Bomb Heaver. The 4 Provision ones usually have some other cost associated with them. Yeah, it's a special card, too, which has its own slew of benefits. It wouldn't break anything, but it makes sense as a 5p card. It's comparable to, like, Dip in the Pontar.
You've done it now. Leave it to us.
So here we see Sage and Dunka running away with a lot of carryover. It should be like Circler. If you don't Deathblow, you get something out of it. Maybe. Not sure how you do that with a token without like really messing with its flavor. Like an obvious thing you could do would be like get a volunteer or get a what are the dwarf tokens called? Are they volunteers? Rowdy dwarves. Get a rowdy dwarf or get an elf. I guess you could get a single neophyte. That makes more flavor sense. I was just thinking, the Skoya tokens. Stream's alive again after you refreshed it. Yeah, we've been back for a while, but it didn't auto-refresh people for some reason, so my viewer count, like, tanked. Everyone's coming back at different rates. More of clans on the armor. Knocks this to 2. Tempering makes it nice and healthy again. Is there a greatsword in here yet? No.
Women, children, elders.
Killing that as it is threatening to answer Rowdy Dwarves. It's like kind of hard to get this to work without the Zoltan's Company. Because if you had Neuromancy for the Zoltan and they Blood Eagle you, and you don't have the Zoltan's Company follow-up, you just never get a Munro. You've gone to the Protector. Keeping up the points buffer. 8-point gap here. 1 per turn, still having the minor points. But the Tron with the Saris for Queensguard. Cute play. Builds himself a little engine here. Hemdall will perfectly snipe the Rowdies anyway. Oh no. Don't say that. Mad Cow just takes the pass. Tron gets the take with a bronze. And we are off to round 3. Where hopefully Mad Cow is able to find his Zoltan's Company. Or Zoltan. One or the other. No. Okay. Maybe Kleptotron will miss Blood Eagle. Nope. Okay, so I'm pretty sure this Munro package is gonna look real embarrassing in a minute. Blood Eagle comes out on the boat, and then just establishing the rest of the bronzes. Yeah, getting the extra point on the Damien makes sense. All the armor sort of adds up. At some point you want to get this Herald down. Yeah, here we go. Thinking about Queen's Guard.
Up and at 'em, you lazy bastards! They sleep when you're dead. Feed our foes to the crabs while they still
Figures
live.
he's gonna be able to get a Blood Eagle. What's in here for the Yalmar? Nothing, right? Damage for 6. Getting frame drops. Yes, we are. Comcast. Please. Please. Okay, I think. Nope, nope, nope. Nope. Blame tournament platform. I can't blame the tournament platform for this one. I think we're stable now. Nope. Nope, nope.
Blood for foul blood!
I don't know. I'll make sure that it's on the ISP end a little later after the stream. What's the easiest way to do that? Should I just like buy another router and hook it up? Buy another router, buy another modem. There's gotta be a better way than just replacing parts, right? Yeah, yeah, this game, happened. Just the time when I stream. It's an open time slot. It was an open time slot when I started. So you are going to be seeing game 2 as game 3 as both SKs pretty effortlessly slide through. Still haven't gotten an invite yet, so let's find some time to start this battle. Yeah, we're in game 3, right? I'm not crazy. Yeah, there it is. There's the invite. Now, real quick Stream Raiders battle. Ooh, boss time? Ancient boss time. What should I plop down here? It's good against everything. Okay, game number 3. Tron versus Mad Cow. Mahakam Forge Dwarfgord against Elves. The eternal battle for the Supreme Scoia'tael archetype. Yep, that's a proactive play. That's definitely a proactive play. Second one? Oh no, just Mata. Okay.
Humans above, beasts below. Don't know which is worse.
Just round 1 Mata on blue. Also playing Bowman before second officer. Well, plenty of armor everywhere. Even the Pyrotech after clicking is gonna have some armor left over. Boost up to 3. Keeps the elves alive, makes it a little harder for the pyrotech to lose a point by hitting something smaller than 4. Just gonna see Kleptotron pass? Yeah. I'm surprised he didn't buff the Mata. But anyway. Round number 2. Elves deck drawing some Dwarves. Finds the Yaven. So the whole elf core package is in hand. Banedeath, Isengrim, Verno, Elias, Yaven. Oh, the whole elf core package is in hand. As the Aileron also gets picked up. Not really why you want that one, but here we are.
Don't dare think you can escape.
Yeah, and now with the Aileron, he's a little scared of things going wrong. Won't take too long before Mad Cow is aware of the whole Aileron in hand situation.
Beneath the ground there's countless wretches and corpses.
Let's dunk it down for some round 3 carryover. Gets it rebuked. So, again, no access to the Zoltan's company here.
The only good human is a dead human.
But matters on the Waylay turn, and it matters before the Verno comes down. But aside from that, not a whole lot of things are easily dealing 2 damage. Sort of Oak, I suppose. You don't really want to use your Yaven for 2 damage. That said, he's the one with round control. He could choose to just not play the Zoltan Monroe this round if he wants to hold out for a safer time. Yeah, and the pass, while Feign Death still has 2 charges on it, is pretty tempting. What was that? Why did my music pause like that? F? No, I don't think so. Maybe I did for a second. That's weird. Squirrel. Not sure what that ate. The only relevant thing would be a protect your target, but there is still the rebuke. Wait, Templar support units? Oh, they deal 42 damage. That's DPS if I've ever seen it. So 1 second F. Huh. Maybe it is the router that's dying. Maybe I'll just replace the router. Why was that the only time I lost connection to my music server, though? Anyway, on the game, we got Yaven coming out for big value. Troy didn't place units next to the boss. We wanted to win the hard way. Makes the victory more satisfying. I also did not know which one the boss was. I may have thought the Ancient Bone Spider was the boss when I placed where I placed. So we have Big Elias, followed by Big Oak, followed by Big Isengrim. Not necessarily in that order. Here's the Forest Protector. Knocks out the Verno. Heatwave's gonna play for 7 onto the Oak. Gord's gonna play for 10, 11, 5 on the Forge. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 14-point Isengrim. And a 15-point Oak. Hey, Han Guy. Thanks for gifting the tier 1 sub to Tyrowin. Thanks for the total of 50 gifted subs. Wow. Oh, Mad Cow wins! Hooray! There's the gourd. We win by 5. Good games indeed. What's going on the other side of the bracket? Looks like they're currently in game 2. We might be able to sneak in here before game 3 starts. Yuri and Ursine last match? No, those were 2 different players. So here we've got game 1. Dwarf Forge up against Battle Trance Yeti. Seeing some pretty interesting decks in the finals here. Mad Cow leading on the Marauder. Jones probably Crow Messenger. Don't know how aggressively he wants to fight over round 1 here. Might just be thinning bronze, get out. Mad Cow with the second Marauder to get that bonded value. Priest Rhizome. There's the 3 cards. Yeah, if we're not playing Defender, I don't think we're playing this round very seriously. Oftentimes you'll see decks with a strong long round that are pretty resistant to bleeds, just passing on 7 cards. If the opponent takes them to the 10 card round 3, they're happy, and if they get pushed, just maneuver the round in such a way you either get card advantage or get to save your important stuff for round 3. Sometimes giving up round control is its own form of round control, forcing your opponent in a couple awkward situations. Here we see Mad Cow playing the Donka, getting his TA. Will we see Jones take the Squirrel? Probably, right? Yeah. Well, maybe he was gonna pass without the Aneromancy played. After that Aneromancy gets played, that Squirrel's a little too juicy. Actually got to catch the tournament. This is exciting. You're just in time for the finals. This is game 1, round 1. Scuff Jones versus Mad Cow. Back over to Jones. I imagine he's just passing here, right? Doesn't seem like he's all that interested in fighting over this round. Nah, never played for Honor. He's thinking about it real hard, though. Yeah, okay, there's the pass. So Mad Cow getting 3 carryover out of the Dunka. Wins the round, has his round control. Quite a few things in this Skellige deck are good at ignoring random damage. You've got Draco Turtle, you've got the armor on Covenant of Steel, you've got the Svalblood Totem Fanatics. So this Zoltan Munro package might not be all that exciting. You're gonna see Eastern Grim's Council to pull out the Sage, get that engine in play for the push. Hey, Zephyr. 3 points per turn for Mad Cow. I guess not really 3 points per turn. How many times is the Sage ticking? Twice, maybe 3 times, depending on if we commit the Protector. Scrubweather does give a lot of bodies for the random things to be distributed to. Probably gonna jam Zoltan Munro this round. There's the totem. Still no engines down for Jones. Mad Cow still has the threat of Heatwave, even though the Heatwave's not in his hand, so... Jones making plays with the understanding that there could be a Heatwave sitting in Mad Cow's hand. Not the pings he's looking for. Relevant ping on armor, as well as a ping on a fanatic that's just going to transform. I mean, Jones with the Great Skirmisher in hand might be a little worried, but just going to take the Heat Wave on the engine. Zoltan's Company coming down for more armor on the Berserkers, as well as the 3 bodies. Sort of like a 9-point Zoltan's Company. Not bad, not bad. And we do see the Getty forced out. This is just going to be Mad Cow's pass. I feel like there's no way he wants to play into this. This is terrifying. Yeah. So it gets out, and this is just take with Preacher. Preachers aren't good anymore. Really only want that card in the Giddy round. So we've still got Priest, we've still got Turtle. Our Defender is gone, but we do have Sigrifa's right to bring it back. Assuming we can draw it. Still looking for the Birna to make the Skirmishers live.
Man is an arrogant creature.
And 6 card around 3. Yep, still Heatwave in deck. Still Sigrifa's right for Defender. Ooh, we could see the Poly move the Defender. That's something that could happen. We do decide to keep the Preacher. I don't know if Swiss works. I have not been told of any updates. But the last 2 weeks have run very smoothly for a single limb. Not sure how the Elder Blood tournaments have gone. Yeah, I think most of the Nilfgaard decks we watched today have been ball decks.
A wee hint. Dinny jiggle this.
Card is still very powerful. So Mad Cow missed his Heat Wave, which makes moving this Defender a little less relevant. Though he is still threatening the heat wave, so maybe Jones won't leader the turtle? Afraid of last play heat wave. It's gonna depend what the point totals look like. But still able to get down the priest.
Oh, you've done it now. Hi-ho, hi-ho.
There's the preacher. This preacher just gets 6, right? Ermion is gonna be Freya for Crow Messenger. Just the Ermion turn, right? No need to do the Gigascorp now? Yeah. Because everything you can Gigascorp wastes a point.
Gods protect us.
Yep. Resing Preacher is worth 7. Resing the Crow is worth 8. Protector Buke can kill the Covenant? And we just pull the trigger on Gord. Okay. So this represents the potential for a heat wave, which... Okay, so you play a Gigascorp. If you leader onto the turtle, and his last card is Heat Wave, you lose, right? But if you play around the Heat Wave, and you leader this onto something that's defendered, does this lose to the Forest Protector now? Yeah. So he took the line that beat Heatwave, but lost to Forest Protector. Interesting conclusion to the game there. Really just a coin flip there. What do you think they're more likely to have? Can't fault him for that one. And especially with the movement on the defender. Like, when it happened, just to expose the Draco Turtle, sort of represented the Heatwave, right? Knowing that Turtle always wants to be the Heatwave target. Rather than potentially waiting for more things to expose themselves on the range draw. Yep, it is open decks. Game number 2.
Just when you thought things were about to
Scuff
get
Jones still got to get through with his Battle Trance deck, and Mad Cow is on his Overwhelming Hunger Crone's Glusty Plague Maiden deck. It's a cool take on monsters that I haven't really seen before. Yeah, I don't think this is a matchup where Glusty is going to be eating any of the units on Scuffed Jones' side of the board. Corinthier and decoy a crone. Yes. You can also just like decoy a crone if you want to do that. You don't get a crone trigger from the Corinthier. So here we're seeing Jones being a little more aggressive. Playing the priest and the turtle out. Yeah, I mean, you could just decoy one of the 5-point crones too. And not have to use your current there on a crone. Does he? I thought Red Dream didn't play Gwent. Big point gap, big engines. Yeah, Scuff just taking the pass. And I've got 3 a turn. 17. What do you got? Locking up the long round for himself. This has gotta be Jones's game, right? Surely. There's not even a heat wave. The Getty walks, the Turtle walks. Like, sure, this isn't card advantage, but this is... This has gotta be bigger. It has to be a dry pass on the monster side. Pretty sure it'd be insane to push down this many cards. But maybe he just thinks he has to. Ugh. I don't know, man. This seems rough. One of the preachers gets marooned. Nah, there's no yen. The current theory is just for Detlef, I think.
We shall do it my way.
Yeah, we're taking the thinning, making sure we've got a hand we're happy with. Using to discard the Scald rather than play another card. So both players, still some stuff missing. We're on the side of overwhelming hunger, missing the Detlef for the Currenthier, missing the Glusty, picking up an Indragolarba. So we're not gonna have Detlef, and there's only the 2 crones, as I imagine the Anira is gonna be for the Glusty, maybe. Anyway, here's Defender. Do we ever see Leader onto Preacher just to play around Maruna? Like, just Leader right now. Chooses not to, but I don't hate the line. Ooh. Not taking the yoink. Scuff deciding to answer Haunt. Now, do we take the yoink? Surely we take the yoink. We don't take this yoink. What else are we yoinking? Yeah, okay. There it is. I'm not sure that Heatwave was worth it. I feel like growing the Preacher is out of range. It was a bigger deal. You'll get like 9 or 10 on your Heatwave later. Maybe it like leaves a Detlef in play and you can Heatwave that. Yeah, here's Carinthia for Plague Maiden. Now, second Preacher. No Preachers in Graveyard. So the Freya is just for Crows or Priests. Now the Preachers are established. Ermion can Sigs right. Then Freya can Priest next to the Turtle. get the... I don't even know. This looks really hopeless to me. So sequencing in a way to try to maximize his thrives.
I can help you if you wish.
We do see the turtle this turn. Seeing the priest the next turn. Parasite's gonna be 6. Except the Plague Maiden. So they're not consuming the Plague Maiden with Glusty, but it's got plenty of consume effects. It's a Nero Glusty, right? That left? No, because you need the row space too.
Modern Freyr is patient, but she brooks no insult.
Rhea into Priest. I think if not for the row space, the Detlef would be more. Can consume this too. That's even more points for the Glusty. Yeah. Consuming the Noon Wraith, basically an additional 4 points. This is a lot closer than I thought it was gonna be. Parasite there makes the totem a lot worse. This on the turtle. Gigascorp for 10. Priest tick. This is... How many tokens is this gonna make? There's gonna be 4 bodies on the row. Makes 5 tokens. Yeah, not quite. Ugh. That was way closer than I thought it was gonna be. Even after letting the Maruna get yoinked. Anyway, game number 3. What were the bans from these players? The Carapace was banned, and Patricidal Fury was banned. So it's going to be Precision Strike up against the Overwhelming Hunger. Wow. Crazy game. I thought Skellige was winning that by like 20 points. I did not think it was going to be within 5.
Yield and save me some time.
Yeah, so we've got Precision Strike with a Spores. Lots of different techs in this one. There's a Spores. He's playing the Vanilla Geralt, which isn't too outrageous, but not something you see every day. But keeping the Spores in hand, and kicks the Shiru away. Mad Cow leading on Larvas. Looks like food for the Circle of Life. I think if he wants to put the boost on. I believe there's no Manticore from this monster's deck. So points on the Synthesis are just safe. It's just about how you want your points distributed. Let's decide to go for the Dunka so it's out of Maruna range. Yep, the players know each other's lists.
Your blood will warm my
MO kind of bad against ST? It really depends. The Shiryu lists often can't find a great Shiryu against these hunger lists, but sometimes the games shape up in a way where something is found. Maybe the double tall removal as a way to punish, like, consuming some of the middle power cards that are normally consumed to deny Shiryu. Ends up making a difference. Scup Jones playing the All God out and getting that carryover. And Mad Cat just playing a Dragolarva and getting those bronzes down. Not losing any quality on these carryover plays from Jones. Jones playing the tempering to extract more Dunka buffs before passing. Don't think he's going to be winning the round, but the more cards that get played, the better it is for him. Every passing turn gives him additional carryover from the Dunka. Trying to get into the territory where it's a little awkward for Mad Cow to play anything here. You see a Neuromancy come out. Gets the other Seleno Harpy. Triggering the Bonded, and this is probably the points gap that Scup Jones takes his pass on, right? Yeah. Extracting some nice value out of that Dunka. It's got 3 carryover on the Gourd, 2 carryover on the Dragon. None of the buffs landing on the Sentinel, but that's fine. Do you see that Sentinel getting out of the hand? And coming right back. Yep. Good old Bricketel. Haunt coming down immediately for Mad Cow, knowing that he needs to push this round. Scup taking the Nero for Heatwave to prevent that. This deck for Mad Cow is a little more reliant on the consumes that it gets from Haunt than some other monsters lists, often going for Current Theory into Detlaf, which requires 2 whole consumes. And Mad Cow, pretty greedy in his bronze core, only having an Indraga Larva for bronze consumes. Scup Jones commits the dragon. Mad Cow does play the Detlaf, with the only consumes for it being leader charges. But nothing is threatening to remove it, as the Heatwave is already gone. Uke on the Banshee. We're using a leader charge on it too, so he doesn't get any more Deathwish boosts. No. Just taking the Rebuke, passing the turn over. Now we see the second Neuromancy come out for the Brewis. Oh, that's another consume that he's got. That's a thing. Brewis in a leader charge fully consumes the Detlaf. Leaves a 10 on the board for the Geralt. See if he wants to take it. Pretty big 24-point gap right now. Yeah, does take 13-point Geralt. What's in this council? A 7-point Shiryu?
No mercy! Who am I to kill?
might get like Banshee. Ooh, this gets ahead.
We will be together.
Glusty, sort of. I mean... There's the gourd. What is left for Jones? Nothing. Actual nothing. There's the Glusty, splitting up the points. So the Spores actually doesn't get ahead. Well played from Mad Cow. Now bricking the Justice from Jones. And I would say things are looking pretty good over here from the Monsters side of the board. As we go into game 3 with a basically empty deck from the Scoia'tael player. Sentinel's not come out. He didn't get Deathblow. No plans on playing Genshin Impact. 4-point Larva. 8-point Maruna. Oh, nope. Full value Maruna. Never mind. No, he had to deal 2 damage to a 7 to line up the Shiryu.
I shall savor your death.
Yeah, this is over no matter what the rolls are, right? Yeah. Mad Cow. Hey YouTube, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. There should be other videos you can watch over here and over here. Be sure to check out my Patreon in the video description, and I stream every day on Twitch from 1 AM to 7 AM, and you can find that link in the description below as well. Deck lists are in the description as always. Thanks for watching.